group of like about 9 guys about what's wrong with the black community, how it could be improved, you need to, you know me and my big mouth, what you need to do about it. I mean, wow, we hopped in like, so wow, it was a mind blowing conversation. It made me feel bad that my shit is not together. I've tried to start like black men's groups, just men's groups. Must have like been like 7 times. Never took off. All right, let's move this. I'm looking at it back where it used to be versus where it is now. It was the most amazing conversation. It really was. But I walked away with something. Uh-huh. I walked away with an organization I think I like, right? So good. Anyway, politics. What are you gonna do? It was just the most amazing conversation. It really was. All right, let's close this. Well, I can't share it anyway, so I might as well just use this, right? Excuse me. So they caught this guy, right? I'm gonna have to adjust this camera. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I wonder if I can do it while the camera is on. Probably not. All right, I'm not gonna be able to. Oh wait, here it is. Can I change it while it's running? You know what? Okay, you know what? We're gonna close this. We're not even gonna do it. We'll do it tomorrow. Uh, so what did I say yesterday? That they were gonna catch this guy before like coffee, coffee. Caught him hanging out in a McDonald's. Right. The book is going to be completely thrown at him. Um, and as it stands, no one died, but they're gonna charge him with attempted murder on everybody and gun crimes and terrorist crime, terrorist threats, and unlawful use of a weapon and unlawful use of a weapon in the subway and arson and all of it. They're just gonna pile it on. He's gonna be found guilty of all of it. It's gonna be like 40 charges. Not probably not 40. It'll probably be like 15 charges. Uh, and they're just gonna give him life for everything. And that'll be it. Like I said yesterday, in a few months we'll forget he even existed. We'll check in at his arraignment, then we'll check in again at the trial. We'll get and then we'll check in when probably not. They'll just say found guilty so many years. We'll check in when they so many, and then we'll tune out to the next guy who did something incredibly ridiculous. Uh, do we even want to read it? Oh my god. Um, that was a really good conversation. I'm sort of burnt out. I could actually end this stream and hop in my Twitter account and go play video games. That conversation was just a mind blower. It was so good. It verified a lot of stuff that I thought, but it also made me think, huh, I didn't think of that. Why didn't I think of that? That's fucking genius. Why didn't I think of that? Watching people, yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. It was a pretty good range of men in the conversation, and as economically, as well as educationally, as well as uh, widely versed and widely traveled. It was a good conversation. It was a really, really good conversation. And it was polite. Nobody was kind of an asshole, right? Everybody heard everybody out. I got to ask the question because I'm wordy. That's why we have this podcast. Uh, are we even gonna? We got him. New York subway shooter suspect arrested. Authorities on Wednesday arrested 62-year-old Frank James, a man suspected of setting off smoke bombs and shooting 10 passengers in a New York City subway car, capping a 30-hour manhunt. 30 hours. I've had gas for longer than 30 hours. A 30-hour manhunt. The video contains disturbing content. This report produced by Jillian Kitcher. Hey, William, good to see you in the chat. Why, thank you for your kind donation. Uh, that's amazing. Yeah, I don't even know what to tell you. What I mean, this is the thing. People do shit like this out of anger and frustration and rage or whatever. Like they have a plane, what is it in the movies? A escape jet in a passport. I don't, no one does that. You're just at this point. You've made yourself friendless and essentially stateless, and now you're just zooming around, hoping not to be found. No one lives off the grid. We're all house cats, right? Even the warrior guys to go out and fight wars for you come home. They like a soft, cozy bed and a barbecue, right? Maybe not a barbecue since they've been killing shit out in the jungle or the bush or whatever. I'm sure they like a McDonald's. Sitting watching the ball game. We're all fucking. What was he gonna be? Where was he going? Right? As soon as you take him in, it's aiding and abetting. And even if you loved him and he was your brother, you got kids in the house, you can't expose them to it. You're the sole parent, right? I can't take the right. This is what they were trying to hang. The guy who killed his girlfriend in the van, the YouTubers. They were trying to hang on his family. You helped him, right? And her family is suing his family now over it because you murdered my daughter. Your son murdered my daughter. And no, we didn't get justice. He and you helped him. It's just the business is so dark. Cuba Gooding Jr. pleads guilty to forcibly touching. This is what it's come down to. Oh my God. Let's read about it. The guilty plea comes nearly 3 years after Oscar-winning Jerry Maguire star was arrested on a case that saw several delays as lawyers sought to get charges reduced or dismissed. They were like, "Look, cop to this. It's not like time served. They didn't go to jail. Um, if they were probably trying to label him as a sex offender. He was like, "Fuck you, I have kids." No, I'd rather go to jail. No one's gonna send Cuba Gooding Jr. to jail on as right. But then they were like, "This is the man." I would have found Cuba Gooding Jr. of a fucking thing. I really wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. That tape, he was in a bar. She was sitting on his lap. I hate to say it, but isn't that whole you sitting on my lap and me rubbing your leg and touching you and then right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting on my lap in a bar while we're drinking. And of course, no one has the right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But did I read the signals wrong here? Apparently, I'm in court. I obviously read the signals wrong. I don't. Maybe it's another woman. Maybe he ran up to a different woman, just rammed up and just grabbed the noodles. Um, the guilty plea comes nearly 3 years after the Oscar-winning Jerry Maguire star was arrested on the case that saw several days of delays and sought to get the charges reduced. As Cuba Gooding Jr. pleads guilty Wednesday to forcibly touching a woman at a New York City nightclub. A fucking nightclub. The guilty plea came nearly 3 years after Oscar-winning Jerry Maguire so I was arrested in the case that saw several delays and his lawyers sought to get the charge changed, reduced, or dismissed. Gooding, 54, accused of violating three different women. Wow, there was multiple women at various Manhattan night spots in 2018 and 2019 pleaded guilty to just one of the allegations. It said he called the police on himself. Is he mentally ill? Yeah, but I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. Um, and like I said yesterday, he shot everybody in the leg. Right? No one had chest wounds, no head wounds, no gut wounds, stomach wounds. Right? Maybe I think a hip wound, upper thigh, leg, lower legs. Doesn't matter though. I guess maybe he was the kind-hearted terrorist who didn't really want to hurt anybody. He just want to. I just want to. I'm the wounding terrorist. I don't know. I'm a little. I'm a little loopy. That conversation really took a lot out of me. It was so good. Oh, I could go for a giant fat marijuana cigarette right now. Um, and dinner. I have not had dinner. I had a fruit cup for breakfast though. 2 cups of coffee in a fruit cup. I'm on my weirdo shit. It's spring. This is what happens to me in the spring. Uh, he told the judge he kissed the waitress on her lips without consent at a Lavo, New York nightclub. Just walked to a random waitress and kissed her on the lips. Uh, all right. Well, I get. Yeah. I guess that's wrong. What about? That's obviously wrong. I guess that's wrong. I need to. You know what? I need to. I need to. I need to fix my attitude on this story. Um, but the video I saw had the girl sitting in his lap, so maybe that's why I'm jaded on it. But this is a totally different thing, and this sounds like you just can't walk up to random women and kiss them on the lips, guys. I mean, come on. No. What was it? What was it? 10 grand? How much was it? How much was the reward for Frank James? Good Lord, 30-hour manhunt. That's ridiculous. You might as well just went to police headquarters and turned yourself into the guard. How's that? He pulls into the underground parking lot, as a pedestrian, you normally they stop you, but they used to do that. 9/11, two guys would get out and stop you as the police commissioner's car went into the sub. Yeah. Now he just pulls in because it's only him, and the other chiefs, right? Goes up because it's a secure building. Nobody cares. But so you can walk up there and then hand over everybody. Hey, get out of the way, bud. You go. I'm the guy who did the thing with the boo. And then the police commissioner can take credit for the collar. It just that whole thing is. I mean, he shot people, but I'm so glad it wasn't worse. He didn't shoot little kids and babies. He didn't actually manage to set shit on fire, but his gun did jam. Maybe he was working his way up to some headshots. Maybe the first couple went errant because he was like, "Ooh, guns are jerky. Let me better aim," and then it jammed. Right. Here's the thing about your guns. There's a thing called gun oil. Nobody uses any of it. So all these things, look, man, a gun is a tool. Keep it in operating condition. I can't believe I'm giving gun advice. Look, listen, don't shoot anybody. But still, if you have a gun, go through the proper procedures, right? Like learn how to safely store it, safely use it. Go to the range. Keep abreast of how to use it. Learn to shoot with your weak hand because you might get shot in your shooting hand. All those goofy things. I did not watch any of his YouTube video. I came home, uh, got in, hopped on someone's stream for about 2.5 hours, and now I missed my stream by 10 minutes. But like I said, it was awesome. I didn't even get to see anything said to my Twitter account. Are we gonna finish reading the rest of this? I just want to read the end of it. What is the criminal penalty he faces? Huh. Gooding had previously pleaded not guilty to six misdemeanors. Wow. And denied all allegations of wrongdoing. His lawyers had argued that overzealous prosecutors caught up in the fervor of the Me Too movement are trying to turn commonplace stresses or misunderstandings into crimes. No felonies, but six misdemeanors. That's a lot. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, the judge should have dismissed this. Most of them, anyway. We demand you, and nothing happens to the prosecutors. It's gonna get. Oh boy. The judge had ruled that if the Gooding case went to trial, prosecutors could have called two additional women to testify about their allegation that Gooding also violated them. So there's no charges about that, but two other women, that's stacking the fucking deck. America is so fucking corrupt. It really is. It just, and it stays corrupt because of the courts. And this is more evidence of like court fuckery. I just hope I never end up in front of a judge because man, I'm gonna get 1,000 years for jaywalking. Ugh. Even as I always say, how I want to be a lawyer. 50 grand. Psst, cheap motherfuckers. That reward should at least been $250,000. He upended the city. 50 grand. See, that's what they think is a lot of money to fucking the common poor people. They don't even give reward money in good excess, right? It should be minimum $100,000. 50 grand. Better up your fucking whole dealio, bro. The judge had ruled that the Gooding case went to trial. Prosecutor called two additional women who claimed he violated them. Those women whose claims did not result in criminal charges were among 19 other accusers. No fucking evidence. That is the thing. This is why I was like, the Me Too movement got all these women fame and money. And all these grandstanders who were raped by everybody. One woman had said she was raped 3 times by the same guy. I was like, woman, why are you fucking still around that guy? Go to the police. Some of these stories get to be hard to believe, is all I'm saying. And as a guy, you don't want to be like, whatever. But I always couch it by saying, when I was a policeman, I worked downstairs from the sex crimes unit, and me and the detective used to talk, and he used to tell me, and the women would walk in, and I'd be like, you know, and everybody's different. But yeah, he got to know who was full of shit and who was not. But he was filed charges anyway. And I was like, God damn. Um, but you could have been talking shit to me, right? Detectives seem to do that to white shields. That's what they call white shields. Gold shields, white shields. 19 other women. Along with the criminal case, Gooding is accused in a lawsuit of raping a woman in New York City in 2013. So another woman is suing him for rape. Not he's not being charged with that she's, you know what I'm saying? The fuckery of this shit is, is just some what? So he's on trial for found guilty of kissing one lady, but the people who prosecuted him aren't going to charge him with the rape of the lady who claimed it. But there's enough to sue for it. This society is just about transferring money from the poor and putting the innocent in jail, and the lawyers getting rich off. I mean, this, uh, shameful, shameful behavior, America. I expect better, and all I'm getting is typical, standard American nonsense. He surrendered to them. I don't, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. If they came upon him and arrested him and said, hey, we walked by, I looked, I said, ain't that the guy? Right? And then I told him upon you go this way and I go, we chose a little bit of tactical shit so you could write in the police report that it looked tactical. And then you like arrested the guy, they'd be like, wow, the police commissioner would be pinning medals on you. You look good, you be on the front of the newspaper. But a guy walking up, you going, I surrender. You might just be in the newspaper just to tell the story because the story is interesting. I don't know if you'll get a medal though. I think I have a medal. I never got it. Um, It's easy to look up. Nah. Sexual harassment and looking up lovers. Here's why the San Francisco SAPD, San Antonio Police Department employees were suspended. I told you stories about my friend who worked at plainclothes Secret Service, and they used to do that to women all the time. Porn stars, supermodels, put them in a giant government database as an alias. So I could go, let's use Jay Z, right? Alias Jay Z, possible rapper, right? All his shit's gonna come back. Sean, whatever his middle name is, Carter, what hospital he was born in, who his mother is, with a link to all her shit, who his father with a link to all his shit, right? But it only goes so far back because tech is only so new, right? So it might run as far back as your parents, right? Unless you're notable, then more people because you're a notable family. Or if you become notable by Jeff Bezos, I'm sure his mother and father and all their information, and as many brothers and cousins and nephews as they can because he's super important. But me, it's probably be me, my brothers, my immediate family, my close friends who I'm always on a text or chat with, and some shit about them, and it's becomes a little spiraling web, and you're just a grain of sand on the beach, and it's. I think, look, when I used to rage about privacy, but that was fucking 20 years ago. 10 years into having a cell phone, I was like, you know what, it's fucking over. Right? They can if and one of the main stories I keep telling using the same story was about how they found these people at sea using their phone, and I was like, they can find you if they want you, right? Your text message is supposed to be private, right? People can hack in, and yeah, there's no privacy. After that, all the celebrities got their nudie pictures and sex tapes hacked. I was like, yeah, privacy's over. If this rando can do it, the government's been doing it forever. Now, don't get me wrong, the cops have shitty computers, but he works for a federal police agency who protects the president. They don't have shitty anything. Um, but yeah, the cops of San Antonio, like the cops of the San Francisco Police Department, New York City Police Department, which is a higher grade police department, but like they may not be able to access as much because they're precincts and in districts, right? But the borough has a better system, is tied into a better system, and then the headquarters is definitely tied into a better system, and then it's all tied into the federal system if they're really special, like the New York City Police Department. Um, but yeah, they can look you up. Ooh, that girl's pretty. Run her the plate number comes back to the owner, her phone number, her address, and the alias is, oh look, she's a stripper. Oh look, she's got an OnlyFans, right? Comes up to so and so. The government is always stumbling across murders and shit. And the CIA was it was a case. I want to say we look this up. I want to say in the 80s, maybe it was in the 70s. I want to say this the CIA came across a murder or a rape or a child molestation or something like that, and they had a problem with they they were like, no, we don't get involved in domestic shit, but the agent was like, we got to call somebody, and I think they changed the law so now if it's in progress, they can alert the local police. But before they were like, no. Well, let's look up. And there was also a case with the FBI where they were like, nobody's supposed to know that they're secretly hiding, and then they're listening on tapes, and they heard a guy get murdered. And then after that, every now and then you're supposed to intervene, you idiots. But I think that it was in the 40s or early 50s, somewhere around there. CIA, CIA. How about this? Can the CIA report a crime? Can the CIA report a crime? It, a crime. It comes across. All right. A lot of shit about the CIA. What does the CIA do? The appalling treatment of prisoner. The CIA can get the truth from Russia. Police fairness. Yeah. Plus, now you have facial recognition everywhere. I mean, I can't believe that. I can't. Can the CIA report a crime? A crime to the police? How's that? All these cops kill people and no one goes to fucking jail. It's not even looked into. First of all, I did an article here that was 6 hours ago, and it says, um, I'm sorry, 1 month ago, and it said new Secret Service report details growing incel terrorism threat. I would like to remind you that this is not new. This has always been what's been going on with this group of people, and they're not new. Um, Shame on you for just fucking finding out about them. Uh, does the CIA work with the police? No. Say police officers protect the agency personnel, facilities, and information through the yeah right. Well, yeah, the CIA has a police agency. Uh, God, I can't even find this. This is very simple. What does CIA teach the NYPD? That can't be good. All right. I'm sorry. I just think that shit is hysterical. Uh, that's another thing. Everybody's got guns in America. Who's going to invade this place? Right? The cops have guns. The military have guns. The private citizens have guns. Everybody's got guns. And a lot of people have training. It's not all military training. And those who don't have military training can pick up how to shoot a fucking rifle like this. So I think this Ukrainian thing is a lesson in your organized army versus the citizenry, right? Because you may have 4 million people, so you may be able to launch 10 million people. But how big is that population if they're all shooting at you? Their army may be 100,000 people, but it's a place of 6 million people. And your army is not 6 million motherfuckers. Uh, what's the difference between the CIA and I can't believe I can't find it. I don't know how to word this to get the right thing I'm looking for. I have no problem. CIA, FBI, CIA, FBI, CIA, headquarters, CIA operating. No, these are all questions that you should know about. I'm finding it hard to believe that a lot of people do not know basic shit about this country and they live here. Uh, John Hinckley Jr. to perform his music before a sold out show at Market Hotel in Brooklyn. See, this is the problem. When all those people moved in, they ruined Brooklyn. Now they're giving shows for presidential shooters. What? Uh, you know, it'd be funny if he dedicated the whole night to Jodie Foster. He'd be back in jail by midnight. oh, oh my gosh. Uh, that's not funny. I apologize, but that's ridiculous. What does he play? But he was the last one who was absolutely he was absolutely crazy. He wasn't delusional or my gum like the gut, but he was crazy. Elvis, he plays Elvis music. I guess that makes sense. He was a child of that Elvis thing, right? The '60s, right? How old is he? And he liked Jodie Foster, and she was a teenager in the '70s. So she was born in the '50s, and he was born in the '50s too. And yeah, Elvis Presley. He would have been a boy when Elvis Presley was wiggling his hips and telling you to I don't know fight the power. He didn't say that. What did Elvis Presley tell the young hip cats of the 1950s before the Beatles came along? After World War II, this was the baby boom era, right? So what was I mean, I know he symbolized sex because he was shaking his hips. I never understood up until I was 30. I was like, okay, shaking your legs on TV, like shaking. I don't get it. It meant sex. I was like, okay, yeah, all right. I guess shaking your hips, okay. And then someone was like, no, it's like he's shaking his dick at you. And I was like, oh, it never dawned on me that it was like, I was just kind of like, because people, like the black community, people shake their hips all the time. And we're always considered overly sexual. I was like, okay, so maybe white people didn't shake their hips. Okay, I get it. They're like, no, no, it's him shaking, looking at the camera, doing this, and going a halt, and then shaking his penis at 50s era women and their 20s and 30s era grandparents and their 30s and 40s era war veteran dads. Right? It was just too. I mean, you might as well have brought a black girl out there and kissed her on like the Ed Sullivan show. Watch how many heart attacks and phone calls you would have had. He has his own songs too. Oh man, what are they all called? Jody? Okay, that's the second one. I apologize. Uh let's look this up. Oh my goodness. John Hinckley. John Hinckley has more music fans than I do. What? Oh my god. Good lord, that typing was horrendous. John Hinckley Jr. All right, John Warnock. First of all, see, that's why he shot somebody. You named him middle name Warnock. What the fuck is a Warnock? Warnock is likely the mother's maiden name. That's is the thing that people did. American who attempted to assassinate U.S. President Ronald Reagan in Washington D.C. on March 30th, 1981, 2 months after Reagan's first inauguration, using a .22 caliber revolver. Hinckley wounded Reagan police officer Tom Delaney and Secret Service agent Tim McCarthy. Uh, Yet Delaney just died. He was a press secretary. He got shot in the head and was forever wheelchair bound after that. John Brooklyn Paper. I used to love the Brooklyn Paper. Brooklyn Paper, literally called Brooklyn Paper. You can look it up at brooklynpaper.com. Brooklyn Paper. Oh my God, I used to love this thing. John Hinckley, Reagan attempted assassin to play first concert in Bushwick. John Hinckley performs his original song, You and I Are Free, on his YouTube channel. He's got a YouTube channel. Hey there, Jody. What it's like in New York City. I'm sorry. Plain White Tees song reference. Okay. He's he's shooting for the stars. John Hinckley Jr., who attempted to assassinate then President Ronald Reagan in 1981, is trying his luck at a career as a musician after being released from over 3 decades of confinement in a psychiatric care. In 3 decades of confinement in psychiatric care. Booking his first gig this summer at the Market Hotel in Bushwick. Big news. Quote, big news. I will be performing on July 8th at Market Hotel in Brooklyn, New York. End quote. Hinckley said on Twitter. He's got a Twitter account. God damn it. Trump can't be on Twitter, but oh my God, I'm about to have oh, they don't make any sense. And they're talking about Elon Musk may hostile bid it. That's South African. You can come here and do anything except be black. Remember that. Oh my God. I am just my day is just I'm 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 goofy. I'm goofy. All right. Twitter. Get your tickets while you can. The July 8th performance featuring Hinckley and special guests. You're performing with him? He's got cohorts? And special guests will showcase Hinckley's singing, songwriting, and guitar playing skills that he developed while confined. He had 30 years while confined at St. Elizabeth Psychiatric Hospital in Washington, D.C. First of all, I'm a proponent of rehabilitation. Music is great. I'm surprised that you would give somebody fucking wires, strings, who's in a mental institution. Shouldn't this have been, I was about to say piano, but the piano has way more wires. The drums have sticks, maybe an oboe, a clarinet. but something easily breakable if he throws it at you. Something where he can't talk to you while he plays it. Sweet Jesus. I don't know what's going on in the world anymore. All right. Uh, hey there, Jody. I saw that he had to quit his gig for bribery and fraud because, look, you had a good gig. You would have eventually been rich, right? In 10 years, you would have been a millionaire. Probably in 5. You don't need to become, in 10 years, you probably would have been worth $20 million, right? You don't need to hold $20 million in the first 6 months, you dumbass. So now you get to go to jail, and everybody in jail is going to be like, "You were a lawyer working for the, you're an idiot," right? And then I'm pretty sure that they will treat you even worse. Um, we're gonna read that story next. The July 8th performance featuring Hinckley and special guests. Oh my God. Hinckley's singing, songwriting, guitar playing skill that he developed while confined at St. Elizabeth Psychiatric Hospital in Washington, D.C. Hinckley is said to be unconditionally. He's not even completely free. Hinckley is set to be unconditionally released from remaining restrictions this June, 6 years after he was released from St. Elizabeth's into the care of his mother. God bless mothers. God bless mothers, right? It's the last sacred thing we really fucking hold dear. We don't hold marriage sacred or childhood sacred or anything, but we still lean into mothers, and that's because we all have one, right? But we all don't have kids, and we all don't generally necessarily like kids, and we all don't generally necessarily like our own kidhood. But we generally, most of us generally out in the world like our mothers. Those who don't are absolutely broken. Uh, my mom is crazy. I love her, but she's crazy. Oh, but I love her so much. Oh my God. But she's crazy. All right. But I love her. But she is crazy. But I do love her. All right. A judge had previously ruled the 60-year-old Hinckley not to be a threat to not to be a not to be a threat to society any longer. And in 2020, he was allowed to publicly showcase his music and art for the first time. Hinckley has since released original composition and cover songs on his YouTube channel and on streaming services. And said last year, well, this is open to everybody, right? And said that's why they're all billionaires. And said last year that he intended to release 14-song LP. 14 songs, brother. You're doing too much. That's a sign of mental illness. 14 songs. All right. On a new record label of his own creation. He's got a record label. I'm about to hop out a window right now. Oh. Oh. I'm being outpaced by a presidential assassin. Oh my God, he's more successful than me in every way. I don't know why I'm finding this. Who wrote this? It's like they wrote this just to get at me. Ben Brockfeld. Brockfeld. All right, Ben Brockfeld. BP for Brooklyn Paper and Ben Brockfeld. Oh my God. Let's finish reading this because there are 2 comments that I want to read. Released a 14-song LP on a new record label of his own creation, Emporia Records. Emporia, okay. His music idols include Bob Dylan and Elvis Presley. Hinckley tried to kill Reagan in 1981 in an attempt to impress actress Jodie Foster, with whom he had become transfixed. Transfixed is a good word. Yeah, not obsessed or any transfixed. Like it goes beyond. Yeah, it's not good. Become transfixed with art. Transfixed after you can hypnotize. You can hypnotize that. What is right? My mouth is funny. You can hypnotize yourself to things, right? You can become obsessed and fixate, and then before you know it, you're in this weird and it goes beyond. Um, yeah, crazy. He tried to kill Reagan in 1981 in an attempt to impress actress Jodie Foster, with whom he had become transfixed. After watching Martin Scorsese's 1976, Martin, a lot of S's, Martin Scorsese's 1976 film Taxi Driver, where Foster played a child prostitute. Now, I saw this movie in the theater. I forgot who I saw it with. Um, Far too young to have seen it. How old was I in 1981? I was like 12. Um, but I didn't know what a child prostitute was, and I didn't know she was a child prostitute because I was younger than the actress in the movie, and she just looked like a lady to me. So I watched it years later, and I was like, oh, okay. Context is everything, right? It's like the song. I told my nephew this. It's like the songs you listen to or the movies you watch as a kid. You watch them years later after you go through sexual maturity, and you go, hey, right? um, it's a thing. So I just think that's funny. Here's another story I tell people. It's like when I was a kid and I used to sneak away and look at adult magazines and go, ooh, look at that girl. She's 19, TTT, right? Because you're a young kid. Then all of a sudden you're 27. You're going, look, that girl's only 19, right? It's 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 the movement of time and with all this video shit, it's not actually, first of all, it's not gonna be around forever. Video degrades. So all this shit that nobody's writing down, I say in 100 years, none of this shit's gonna be around anyway, unless you do something else with it, right? And it all consists of paper. So God forbid there's a giant electrical storm and all the power goes out, we're back to pen and paper, right? And who can you call if this whole thing's just gonna be black, right? Hard copies. Hard copies are now disc, right? Hard copies used to be actual paper. All right. Anyway, let's get through it. Robert De Niro's character in the film attempts to assassinate a presidential candidate. Hinckley stalked both Foster and the president in the years leading up to the assassination. On March 30th, 1981, Hinckley shot at Reagan 6 times outside the Washington, D.C., hitting the president, press secretary James Brady, D.C. police officer Thomas Delahanty, and Secret Service agent Tim McCarthy. Brady sustained the most serious injuries, causing permanent brain paralysis. What the hell is brain paralysis? When he died 33 years later in 2014. His death was ruled a homicide. Yeah, they upped the grade. I'm surprised they didn't recharge him, but uh, his death was ruled a homicide and resulted in the 1981 shooting. The following year, a jury found Hinckley not guilty by reason of insanity, having been found to suffer from a number of. Oh yeah, so they did after he died, they hit him with a murder charge, and everybody heard the story and knew he was in a mental institution. Was like, yeah, the fucking guy's crazy. We all know this. So, and they did the right thing. They weren't mean spirited and sent them to an actual prison because he's crazy, which we do all the time. Sadly, we do it all the time. We make damaged people worse. When he died 32, his death was ruled a homicide and the result of the 1981 shooting. The following year, a jury found Hinckley not guilty by reason of insanity, having been found to suffer from a number of untreated psychiatric disorders. Tickets for Hinckley's jury performance cost $20 and are on sale on the ticket performance platform Venue Pilot. Mask and proof of vaccination are required. If I don't mask up, what you gonna do? Shoot me? Bah! That's three. That's three on one story. Come on, man. Oh, pat myself on the back for these ones. Um, uh, Mask and proof of vaccination are required. Hinckley declined to be interviewed through his agent. He's got an agent. Okay. Okay. An interview through his agent who said the musician called him a musician. Can we not call him an assassin? No, he didn't assassinate anybody. Wait, he did assassinate Brady. Okay, I'm being mean spirited. Hinckley declined to be interviewed through his agent, who said the musician did not speak to the press before his performance. Correction, 5 p.m. A previous version of this article erroneously stated that the Market Hotel is in Williamsburg. It is in Bushwick. We regret the error. All right. I guess he had plenty of time to practice. I said that. This is insane. This is insane. First off, it's the obvious one and I missed it. Oh my God. Thanks, William. Now I've got to redouble my effort with my music because man. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's check my Twitter and see what you sent me. Sweet Jeebus. Policeman confronted at awards ceremony. How did I miss that one? Yeah, that subway shooting is crazy. Um, Manager. Wow. Woo! That story is just you got it from the Daily Mail. I wonder what they say about it. Let's see what John Hinckley Jr., who tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan in 1981, will play sold out. So that and it did get worse. Before there was tickets available, now it's sold out. Show in Brooklyn this summer after serving 35 years in a psychiatric hospital. Bullet points. Would-be Ronald Reagan assassin John Hinckley Jr., 66, will play a sold-out Brooklyn concert in John. He spent 35 years and he's 66. At first, he's been out for like 6 years. So let's chop off. So let's say he was 60 when they let him out. 35 years. So he was 25 when he did this. My math is right. Like I used to say, my logic is undeniable. Anybody know the movie? Doesn't matter. My logic is undeniable. It's so creepy, but it's so good. It's so right. And I use it all the time. It was when I was being super smug. But man. I Robot. I Robot. I Robot. With Will Smith. My my logic is undeniable. Much better than that Hal shit. Will be Ronald Reagan assassin John Hinckley Jr., 66, will play a sold out Brooklyn concert in July, 40 years after attempting to take the president's life. Tickets sold out April 12th, with Hinckley tweeting that he was very excited. After spending 35 years in a psychiatric ward. That was weird. After spending 35 years in a psychiatric ward, Hinckley has amassed 800,000 views on his YouTube channel, where he posts original songs and covers. Oh, you freaky fucks. On March 30th, 1981, Hinckley shot then President Ronald Reagan, two of his staffers, and a policeman. Two of his staffers, no. Shot one of his staffers and two policemen. One federal policeman and one city policeman. Right? A Jingle shot policeman, two of his staffers and a policeman in an attempt to impress actress Jodie Foster. Like, hey, I shot the president for you. Yeah, that was yesterday. Now I'm home now. Yeah, because you can just do that. How crazy are you? Oh, wow. Me, internationally famous movie star, just going to pick up this call and talk to you, John Hinckley. How crazy is that? Um, on March 30th, 1981, Hinckley shot then President Reagan, two of his staffers, and a policeman in an attempt to impress actress Ray Foster. In 2020, a judge allowed him to display and perform his music. See, that's the kind of fucking power a judge shouldn't have over you. A 1995 civil settlement had banned Hinckley from benefiting from his name or his story. And I think that's bullshit because it is his name and his story. Maybe not benefit from this incident, shooting the president. All right, let me write a book about how I did it. Let me start a movie about it. Yeah, no. But if he goes on to do other shit, he should be able to keep his name. You know what I mean? They write the most evil shit in law. Slavery was written in the law. It's evil. Evil. He can't even use his own name. That's crazy. That's bullshit. John Hinckley Jr., the man who tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan in an attempt to impress actress Jodie Foster more than 40 years ago, is playing a sold-out concert in Brooklyn this summer. Hinckley 66 tweeted on April 9th that he was very excited about his upcoming show. Tickets sales are good. July 9th, Market Hotel in Brooklyn. Tickets at the show are 1140 Myrtle Avenue in Bushwick. Yeah, right around the corner from where I used to live. We're selling $20. $20 is not a lot of money. $20 is like the cover to get into most places in New York, right? The president was shot in the left lung. The 22 caliber bullet missed a 70-year-old's heart by just inches. Ronald Reagan, regardless, Reagan walked out of the hospital under his own power. The famous and crazy script to his wife that he forgot to duck after surgery. Oh, that Ronald Reagan. When he's not telling you funny jokes, he's selling weapons to the Contras, which was against the law, by the way. Um, but the fall guy got rich, so it's all good. Not no, he wasn't the fall guy. He was a the fall guy is the guy you no. Who's if I leave you stuck with it, you're the red not the red herring. The fall guy is the guy who gets in trouble for it. But the guy who takes the hit is what? Not the lame duck. It's a lamb thing, right? Isn't it something like that? You're the you're the not the goat. You're the you're the sheep, not the sheep. Man, all right. It's not gonna come to me. Don't say that. It's gonna come to me. It's just gonna not come to me now. Uh, you're not a stupid. Stew pigeons talk. If you get caught and anyone else gets away and you don't talk, you're the not the lame duck. Oh my god, I'm not gonna get it. I could open up for him. Does this mean don't ever give up? Yeah, pursue your dreams. Apparently. Oh my god. All right, so let's read about this lieutenant because I mean the fuckery, man. I mean it doesn't make any sense. Oh, Cuba. So Cuba Gooding, we did the subway thing, and now we're gonna do this. Bodybuilder saw Cedric McMillan dies at 44. That bodybuilding shit is not healthy. Being fit is healthy. Schmuck. Who's a schmuck? Does this mean don't ever give up? Yeah, keep playing your guitar in the mental institution. Internet swoons over best cat dad carrying kittens in bathrobe pockets. That's true too. He is a schmuck. Uh, it's it's not lame duck. It's holding the not cats holding the bag. It's something. Oh, I wonder if I can actually find it. Uh, I don't even know how to word it to do a Google search. Maybe it is Fall Guy. Okay, anyway. Um, family faces hate crimes charges in attack that left gay man blind. Oh. You know how much time you can get for hate crime charges, people? Remember, off the top of my head, remember about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, uh, there was a bunch of people who drove their racist parade past a 6 year old barbecue and called them nigger and said all this stuff. They had giant flags, right? And then they peeled out and the cops pulled them all over, arrested everybody. They got 10 years in jail for that. The girl got 8 and she was 22 and she was crying and pleading with the judge for leniency and she yeah and the guy got 10 under these new hate crime charges after Charlottesville. They were the first people to do something stupid. Yeah, they got a lot of time thrown at them. Uh, and 100 years ago, you would have ignored it completely. Um, couple who drove past. Okay, let's not get sidetracked with this story. Oh, yeah, racist assault at a child's birthday party yields long prison terms in Georgia. Jose Joe Torres. There's always like Latinos are always hooked up with like white nationalist racists. Ugh. Weeps in his seat during his sentencing at the Douglas County Courthouse in Douglasville, Georgia. On Monday, Superior Court Judge William McLean sentenced Torres and Kayla Norton to lengthy prison terms Monday for their role in the disruption of a black child's birthday party through the use of a Confederate battle flag, racial slurs, and armed threats. So they threatened them, but they did have guns in the car. A judge ruled sent Norton 25 and Jose Torres 26 to spend a combined 19 years in prison for their role at an 8-year-old's birthday party. So she got 9 years, he got 10. Or did she get 8 years and he get 12? I think the gun yielded a little more time. I'm sorry that this happened to you, Norton told the family that endured the assault. This didn't happen to you. You did this to them, right? It's saying I'm sorry this happened to you is find out that your friend got mugged or got hit by a car, right? I'm sorry that this happened to you. Oh my God, as I'm talking to you in the hospital. But if you ran them over and they know you ran them over, saying I'm sorry that this happened to you is sort of uh after turning the court, she accepted apology and not entering the courtroom where friends and the birthday party were seated. But I want you all to know that that is not me. Yeah, ba 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 ba. Sentencing came weeks after jury found both of them guilty, making terrorist threats and violated Georgia Street Gang Terrorism Prevention Act. Terrorism. The jury also convicted Torres of aggravated assault, although Georgia doesn't have a law specifying a hate crime. That the term both that's the term both McLean and District Attorney Brian Foster used to describe the group's behavior. It's Georgia. They don't have a hate crime statute because that would be too, you know. 2015, 1 month after racist gunman killed 9 in a hospital. Yeah, see, it was on the heels of that. Several members of the group who are now serving long prison terms, they all went to jail. Um, all right, we don't even need to go into it. It's a long time, and it's just. I was really impressed by the sentencing, but that's not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is looking up. No, we're not going to read that. What were we looking up? We were looking up the New York Lieutenant Governor. All right, so let's close this. Let's close this. Let's open this. Uh, NYS Lieutenant Gov. Lieutenant Governor Benjamin Bryan. New York Lieutenant Governor resigns after arrest and indictment in alleged bribery scheme. You know, when the governor can't run, the lieutenant governor becomes governor. This is what happened when Cuomo left, right? He was this close. What is he doing? He's an idiot. Who's got time for you? You're a moron. We're sorry, this page that you are looking for is not available. They took his page down. His government page is not up. Uh, AP, New York Lieutenant Governor resigns after arrest in federal probe. The feds. New York Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin resigned Tuesday in wake of his arrest in a federal corruption investigation, creating a political crisis for Governor Kathy Hochul, 7 months after she selected Benjamin as the partner to make a fresh start in the office already rocked by scandal. So she handpicked him, and he was dirty. But she wanted to show up some black vote coming into, yeah, because she's gonna lose all the black people downstate because she's all upstate. Uh, Benjamin, a Democrat, was accused in an indictment of participating in a scheme to obtain campaign contributions from a real estate developer in exchange for Benjamin's agreement to use his influence as a state senator to get $50,000 grant of state funds for a nonprofit organization that developed that the developer controlled. Benjamin, hold it, what? Benjamin was accused okay, he was going to take campaign contributions from a real estate developer, and then use his influence as a state senator to get $50,000. Oh, okay. So he was going to have the government give a contract to the developer, and a $50,000 contract to the developer. That was the government contract. What he was going to get in return was a campaign contribution. It's bribery. It's classic bribery. It's something a valuable for a valuable, right? So it doesn't have to be money for a deed. It can be an action for an action, right? It can be money for a promise at a later date, right? It can be all these sort of things. Um, it can be, hey, watch my podcast, uh, and I will give you. Wait, that's not really bribery, right? Um, it could be, hey, bribery. Hey, I will give you this money if you don't arrest me, right? That's bribery. Or it could be, hey, uh, I will give you a movie role if you don't arrest me. That's bribery, right? I'll give you a blowy if you don't arrest me. There's a ton of those on YouTube. That's bribery. Okay. So he was going to give him a grant for okay, facing charge including bribery, fraud, conspiracy. Oh, the conspiracy is a capper, and falsification of records. Oh, he's looking at a long time. Benjamin pleaded not guilty Tuesday at an initial appearance in the Manhattan Federal Court. He was released on bail and was set at $250,000. The term of his release calls for his travel to be restricted and bar him from returning to the state capitol in Albany. He has submitted his resignation to Hochul hours later. I have accepted Brian Benjamin's resignation effective immediately. While the legal process plays out, it is clear to both of us that he cannot continue to serve as lieutenant governor. New York deserves absolute confidence in their government, and I will continue working every day to deliver them. Hochul said in a statement. Uh, what is his history? Benjamin. He strikes me as Haitian. I know people are like, what does that mean? Uh, yeah. Where's his? Okay, that's his government page. Why doesn't he have a YouTube page? I just want to. She handpicked him. Oh, it's so bad. Brown University, one of the best colleges in the city. Brown University graduate Brian Benjamin looks to become New York's next lieutenant governor. All right. It's all so bad. Kingmakers, Kingmakers. All right, so let's look up her and then click on him. Let's see what Brian Benjamin has to say. Let's see early life and education. See, I don't have one of these because no one cares. But if all of a sudden I became a fancy muckety muck, people would give a fuck. Brown and Harvard. Oh no, he's not a lawyer. He's got a BA and an MBA. He's a businessman. I guess if he was a lawyer, he wouldn't have done that. A political progressive. Okay. Vinny was arrested April 12, 2022 after being indicted on charge of bribery conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and 2 counts of falsification of records. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. That day, Vinny resigned from his position as lieutenant governor. Here is the thing. The dude's coming to offer me a bribe may as well be the cops. Why would you even entertain it? Somebody knew he was dirty. Born in Harlem Hospital in Harlem, New York City, the son of Caribbean immigrants. There you go. Man, I'm getting really good at this. There's a difference of people connected to slavery and other people who come here. I don't care what anybody says, there is. Yeah. Anyway, we got 8 minutes. I was late by 10 minutes. I'm hungry. What should I have for dinner? Thinking about a fruit cup. All right. A burger and fries. I don't want a burger and fries. I hate to be cliche, but I could go for some fried chicken and mashed potatoes. Go for a steak. I don't want to cook a steak. Do I even have any other thing to go with a steak? I have arugula. uh, I'll come up with something. All right, boys and girls. Yeah, you know what? I first of all, I need to buy a bunch of those and stick them in the freezer because those things are always good to have handy. Super always good to have handy. Um, yeah, those Hungry Mans. Yeah, Swanson's Hungry Mans. Mm. Super good to have in the crib. Uh, I told myself I'd do more cooking. I also told myself I wouldn't eat after 7. So maybe I'm not gonna eat tonight. All right, let's get this over here as we count down to infinity. Okay, we bribery, ridiculous. Uh, you could have helped so many people. Let's read up on this family. Florida. I mean, the whole family's going for a hate crime charge. I mean, what? All right, hold on. Florida prosecutors said they filed hate crime charges Tuesday against 3 family members accused of severely beating a man because of his sexual orientation. Ina Makarenko, 44, Yevken Makarenko, 43, and Olin Makareno, 21, were all charged with attempted first-degree murder, battery during the burglary of a dwelling. They burglarized the place and kidnapping, according to the Brown. Ooh, who are these people and where are they from? Yevgen Makarenko. It sounds like they're either Russian, Chechen, Slavic, but that Marenko thing could also be sort of gypsy. I don't know, man. All right, let's get it. Attempted murder. The 3 family members broke into a pump. Wow, they broke in a Pompano Beach home last August and beat a 31-year-old gay man so badly that he has become permanently blind and sustained other serious injuries. Prosecutors said, "Wow, wow." They secretly, forcibly, or by threat abducted or imprisoned the victim against his will to terrorize him, the forum said. They go on to say The three struck the victim numerous times, causing serious bodily injury and disfigurement. That's the blinding, almost resulting in his death. Officials haven't released many details about the attack in order to protect the victim's privacy, but prosecutors have confirmed that the Macarenas knew the victim before the attack and specifically targeted him because he is gay. Wow. CBS Miami, Carly Barnard went to Macarena. A lot of Russians are moving into Florida, by the way. Why do we keep letting our enemies move here? The fuckery, man. Uh, CBS Miami, Carly Barnett went to the Macarena's home. Someone answered the door, identifying himself as the family member, but did not agree to talk to cameras. On the mailbox, there was a tape sign with the QR code saying, "To help Ukrainian refugees wrongly jailed." They're Ukrainian. What did I say? What did I say? Stop. Look, the Ukrainians have a giant race issue. Why are you importing racism from it? They're also very fucking homophobic, right? They're also anti. Man, this fucking country doesn't make any sense sometimes. Wrongly jailed. The code leads to an online petition with 360 signatures. The description reads in part: the three arrested family members, mother, father, and son, are being accused of severe crimes with multiple charges against them. These could result in a life in prison sentence in the United States, or even, if possible, deportation back, or even if you not hold on. These could result in life in prison in the United States, or brackets, if even possible, in brackets, deportation back to the Ukraine. No, no, no. You will be deported back to the Ukraine after you do like 40 years in prison. And America used to deport your corpse after you died here. Isn't that some shit? So they're from the Ukraine, living in Miami, hating Americans, and you're giving money to don't make not you, but you know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. You know what? I might go out and get some Swansons. Dang it, William, you solved it for me. May have to make you a junior producer. What are those things they used to do in the 50s? G-Man badges, right? And then in the no, that was in the 30s. And then in the 50s, they gave junior pilots, right? All this kind of wild stuff, decoder rings. That's why that's in my head. There is no such thing as a junior producer. You're either a producer or an executive producer. Yeah, there are no assistant producers. No one is an assistant producer. Producer is a fat title, as I remember in the film game. Or if even possible, deported back to the Ukraine. You would love to go back to the Ukraine. You would love that. There's freedom there. And you can leave from there and go to Paris if you wanted to. No, that's not the way that's going to work. You're going to stay in an American prison. The three arrested family and mother, father, and son are being accused of severe crimes with multiple charges against them. These could result in a life in prison sentence in the United States, or, if even possible, deportation back to Ukraine, where an excruciating war is happening now. Yeah. A fourth family member is also in jail awaiting charges. Broward County deputies arrested the group last month and said they're being held without bond, of course, because they be out of here. A fourth person. How many of these motherfuckers are here? How did you bring a whole family over? We don't need to take people from Europe. I keep saying this. We really don't need to take anybody. I hate to be the guy to say it. We have enough men and women in this country to make more Americans. We should sever ourselves from this European bullshit, and from this Southeast Asian bullshit, and from this African bullshit. Doesn't make any sense. We have enough people that represent every place here. Why are we still taking people? It can only be problematic. All right, let's finish this thing off. Oh, 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 oh. It just went. It just went. Even as I said that, let's do that. Stop it. Stop. All right, let's stop this. Let's put this over here. Let's hit the stopwatch and get our overtime run going. Broward County deputies arrested the group last month and they're being held without bond. A fourth person connected to the attack was transferred from Alabama to Broward County. So he skipped, yeah, and went to Alabama. Who does he know in Alabama? How many of these motherfuckers are in this country? How many of these are Chinese people? There's 60 of them in the country. You don't even know if they're fucking agents of China or not. Man, this society is so weird. It doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, I get followed around every place. A fourth person connected to the attack was transferred from Alabama to Broward County Jail on Monday. Prosecutors said no charges were immediately filed. Defense attorney for the three people charged didn't immediately respond to emails seeking comment from the Associated Press. 83-year-old Ukrainian woman said she was raped after Russians took her village. I think we hit all the fat stories. Former MSNBC host upset over Brooklyn subway shooting. Suspect's race. Damn. I need to understand that. Yeah, I want to see where these shootings. Where were the victims hit? The man firing 30 shots at gun and attack had been charged with federal crimes. Federal terror offense. Yeah. The gunman was suspected of firing 30 shots. Frank James, 62, was arrested on Wednesday. Lower East Side Manhattan patrol officers as a local precinct conference. Officers said James apprehended thanks to tips from a few. Wait, if they said thanks to tips, if they got tips and he didn't surrender, somebody gets the money. Officials said that James was apprehended thanks to a tip a few hours earlier that came in from a McDonald's on 6th Street and First Avenue by a member of the public who took photographs and called the NYPD Crime Stoppers. Okay, someone's got the reward. Officers responded to the McDonald's, and when Mr. James was not present, they began driving around the neighborhood. They found him on the corner of St. Mark's Place and First Avenue, one of the busiest intersections in the East Village, and took him into custody. The 30-hour manhunt involved city, state, and federal agents, as well as help from the public. Uh-huh. 29 people hurt. Yeah, we're gonna check in and see him get like 300 years, and that's gonna be the end of it. He couldn't. We could not have done this without the public. I tell you, man, New York is a dense place. Once they go, hey, look around you, you get 10 million people instantly looking around you. Right? It's nowhere else like that, and that's a good thing. That's just a city. Some people, their whole countries like that, like India. You don't want that, and like in China, you don't want that. We have room to breathe. Uh, you can't get that here in Virginia. You can't get it in California. Big places, right? You can't get it in Miami. I don't think you might be able to get it in Chicago. The same kind of energy. He faces up to life in prison if he's convicted of a terrorist attack on the mass transit, according to Brianna S. Peace, the U.S. Attorney in New York Eastern District. At least 4 school children, 12 to 16, believed to be among the 29 passengers injured, requiring medical treatment after suffering from bullet wounds. He shot 12 to 16-year-olds? I'm sorry. Suffering from bullet wounds, smoke inhalation, falls, and panic. All right, he's saying they were among those who got okay. Oh boy, 5 of 10 people shot were reported to be in critical but stable condition. Another 19 were injured, though nobody reported to be in life-threatening condition. Details of his criminal history include 9 previous arrests in New York between 1992 and 1998 for crimes including burglary, theft, sexual assault, as well as 3 in New Jersey, 92, 93, and 2007, for crimes including disorderly conduct, stuff like drinking in public or yelling at somebody, or maybe a fist fight. Trespassing, that could be anything from, we ask you to leave, right? Trespassing. He does not have a felony record, and he was not known to be to the FBI. Just some random. He's a random. Law enforcement agencies urge the public to keep sending them footage. Yeah, yeah. There is no more privacy, so this is no longer ratting out your fellow man to the black ops guy. This is just you being a good citizen. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody's got footage. No one's secretly doing anything. Just hand it over to the government. Yeah. So the age of privacy is kind of over. And when the government asks you, hey, give us your vid, yeah, give them your vid. Put it on your Facebook first, because it might be worth something. Like, if you get a picture of a UFO on your phone, put it on your Facebook page, put it on your YouTube channel. It's going to make you a millionaire. Don't just give it to somebody. Oh, yeah, I'll send it to my friend. It was funny. Then he'll put it up there, and then he'll get it. And then you have to sue him because it's still your content, though. Come on, guys, come on. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. It's 8:05. James was named a suspect. So far, they believe James boarded the James bound James boarded an R train at Sunset Park after firing 33 shots and packed in train car. So 33 shots is this. Hold on, wait, whoa. I think the average. Hold it. What? How big a magazine did he have? 33 shots. A standard magazine they made smaller, right? But police issue magazines, if I remember correctly, have 15 rounds, right? So he would have had to go through 15 rounds, reload, go through another 15 rounds, reload, go through 3 rounds, gun jam, drop the gun, get out of there. If he fired 33 rounds. That's just wow. James was named the suspect after police found the key to the U-Haul in a van Tuesday's crime scene. Authorities said James rented the Philadelphia. Yeah, the van was he rented the van. His name is on the rental. 9mm handgun, extended mag. Had an extended mag. Hatchet. Had a hatchet. Fireworks. I don't know what the hatchet and the fireworks for. Liquid believed to be gasoline. I don't know what that was for. This is how this works. Let's say this is glass. See how much water's in here? That's all the gasoline I need, right? What I want is a long thing like this because I want the fumes. He had a spray bottle. There's not a lot of room in a spray bottle for what you guys. He didn't know what he was doing. And this is all the dumb shit you learn in comic books and movies and shit, right? The government is not going to knock on my door and arrest me for telling you some terrorist shit because I told you about that. They've been making Molotov cocktails forever. And fucking, who doesn't know gasoline, right? It's what they teach us in like the worst junior high school. Uh, and I was also thinking about this. He could have did this because he had no options, right? And then this way, I'm not going to go to regular jail. I'm going to go to federal jail, right? So maybe he was smarter than we thought. He didn't shoot anybody in the chest, but people are in critical condition. Look, listen, shooting somebody in the leg doesn't mean you won't. Now, you could clip that artery and they can bleed out, right? You can uh, destroy the femur with a bullet, right? People can die of shock, heart attacks. I mean, he's a good. It doesn't make any sense. A hatchet, fireworks, a liquid believed to be gasoline, a black garbage can. A black, why is that? Okay. A black garbage can and detonated and undetonated smoke grenades. It's unclear where or how he obtained the weapon. America is awash in guns. I'm pretty sure it's easy to find a gun. Authorities have offered a $50,000 reward for information leading to the capture of the gunman who was wearing a gas mask as he fired 33 shots on the packed train in which the worst violent incident on public transit in recent history. Yeah, I would say that. That makes sense. James has linked to Wisconsin and Philadelphia and Ohio and New York and New Jersey. He's all over the place. Has posted dozens of bizarre ramblings. They're always bizarre ramblings. These things that I do here are bizarre ramblings. Right? It's like manifestos. You just sit there and you let it all spill on your typewriter, and you don't edit it. This is unedited, so it's a manifesto. What is my manifesto? I speak enough about what I believe, so you know what my manifesto would be. You can likely put it together yourself if you've been to this podcast before, right? If you've been here twice, you kind of know. So right, so everybody's so what's his manifesto? What is his bizarre ramblings? He had a YouTube channel. Yeah, at one moment, they're trying to throw shade at YouTube people, and also as they try and move into the use to YouTube sphere, right? But some people can't get followers to follow them because they're abandoning you on cable television. So you come in here with the same shtick, and people are like, man, so bizarre ramblings. What did he ramble about? Maybe there's some clues to what he was saying. Ramblings. What was he saying? Why was he unhappy? It's probably in those tapes, if you listen, versus just calling everything fucking bizarre ramblings. God, look at the American media will have you defending some of the fucking worst people. Ooh, I'm supposed to be quitting smoking. I'm sorry, quitting cursing. Smoking. I'm supposed to be quitting cursing. Freudian slip, maybe? Maybe I should quit smoking and keep cursing. All right. In a video posted last month, James singled out the city's new mayor, Eric Adams, by name, criticizing the recently announced public safety policies targeting homeless people in the subway. Because he was homeless in the subway. The secret detail, the security detail for Adams, who is at home recovering from COVID, will be strengthened in light of the video, according to the New York Police Commissioner. Yeah, that just makes sense. But now you don't need to because he's arrested. You should have strengthened it while he was still free. But he was only free 30 minutes ago, 30 hours ago. You don't need to fucking give him any more security unless you got some other news for us. And he's home. Was you gonna put somebody at the foot of his bed? You see what I mean? The knee jerkery. It's just goofy. The media shows up and sticks a mic in your face and you just start talking. We're gonna strengthen his security detail as the guy that we're worried about is arrested. And he's home sick. Targeting home people in the subway. For Adams, who is home recovering from COVID, will be strengthened in light of the videos, according to New York Police Commissioner Keechant Sewell. Keechant, what a fucking name. Keechant. Okay. I wonder what it means. Does it mean anything or somebody make it up? In a video posted on Monday, James said he had experienced the desire to kill people, but he didn't want to go to jail. Yeah, I think that's everybody. James, I can kill a whole bunch of motherfuckers if you really want to know about it. People are always asking to be smacked in the face. Other people are always asking to be pushed down the steps. Someone else is always asking to be pushed out a window. You know what we do here in this society? James, if I can call you James, Mr. Jesse James, right? No, Jesse James, Mr. James, uh, Frank James. Can I call you Frank? Um, yeah, no one does it. Oh, I like to go rob a bank and take all the money out the jury. Yeah, no one does it because the same reason no one wants to go to jail. See? Rules of society. Huh? There you go. Fucking idiot. Sorry, not supposed to be cursing. Um, I would like to kill people, but I don't want to go to jail. Wait. Maybe he was. Did he have somebody? He probably had some family member in mind, some sinister shit. He's actually thinking about. Well, he shot people, so I guess he was actually thinking about this. Was that a call for help? I want to shoot people, but I don't want to go to jail. Should someone in his chat should have been like, "Yo, bro, you all right, man? How things at home, right? Or did people go do what I just did? Yeah, man, I go kill a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Har, har, har. Laugh it off and keep it moving. What was his rants? Right? This is essentially me analyzing some of his rants. His rants. Wait till they analyze mine after my crime spree. Or tired and sleepy. Weeded out. Crime spree. A series of jaywalkings. Um, a serial jaywalker. Whew. Women, lock up your children. Did they just give him a desk appearance ticket? Oh my god. In a video posted Monday, I mean, the idea that she's gonna increase his security is just the most ridiculous thing about this story. More so than him not wanting to go to jail for doing dumb shit. In one upload last month from a rented white van, James sounded relaxed as he rambled about a range of topics, including moving out of his apartment, workplace troubles, the state of humanity, the climate crisis, and overpopulation. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, one neighbor told the New York Times that James walked with a limp and described him as a quiet and unthreatening, while another said he was grumpy, standoffish, and weird. One say he wasn't a threat. One say, you know what I mean? You can look at these rants and someone will go, man, he was hopeful. He was trying. Other people just go, man, I watched the thing. He was crazy. That dude was mental. Somebody knew he was going to snap because he was talking about. What am I talking about? He didn't know what he was talking about. I knew he was going to snap. He didn't even know what he was talking about, right? Uh, Hindsight, man. And when people get depressed, they do get quiet. They get sullen. They get sad. They get short tempered. He was grumpy, standoffish, and weird. That's a lot of things to be to one person. Amid growing concerns by campaigners that the shooting will lead to Adams deploying even more police on the streets and the subways, Jamal Bowman, Democrat representative for North Bronx and southern half of Westchester County, called for caution in the interview with CNN. This was a horrible attack, and that person needs to be held accountable. But then we need to move on. Bowman, who called for a decrease in police, especially in poor communities, added, "Police are one part of the solution, but they are not the only solution. They cannot work in silos. They have to work with education officials, clergy, and workforce development." He's right. The first thing they're going to go, oh, crime, crime, crime. They're just going to flood all these meatheads on the street and just fuck with everybody again. And all these liberals will be applauding it. These moneyed New York liberals who always vote against the black Democrats in the city, which is amazing to me. The camera at the THS. The cameras at the THS? It sounded like he was losing his apartment. I mean, yeah, maybe he was just mad at this whole thing. I get it, man. This place is unfair and it will break you. Yeah, right? So they put him up as a deterrent, but when you need them, they're not running because the MTA is a shit show. Uh, there should be cameras working. Whoever's the MTA chairman is need to go. But he's a government appointee. He knows this guy. They're all friends. They all golf together. His kids don't take the subway. The MTA chairman and the MTA board, none of them take the subway. They're all chauffeur German town cars. I know. These all park outside of the old Board of Education on Adams Street, which exit the Brooklyn Bridge, if everybody knows what I'm talking about, if you know New York. All these just town cars for the Board of Ed meeting. Not the Board of Ed meeting. The transit meeting. Transit headquarters is down there. Just kind of like, what? You should at least have to take the fucking subway. with us for your tenure, right? Like if you're a police commissioner, you should have to engage with and they do generally. But the MTA don't give a fuck about anybody. They don't engage with the riders. They don't do anything. They drop edicts down from on high. All right, boys and girls. We're 20 minutes over our minute 15. You know what that means? That means it's time for me to take my sorry self on. And like I said, man, we have been knocking these things out the park. We did say that this guy was going to get caught fairly fast. Kudos to us. I also do feel good that nothing bad happened. We were predicting gloom and doom at the end of March, and we're well past. Oh, we said we give ourselves 5 days, but yeah, it's the 13th. Everything is fine. Knock on wood. Uh, thank the maker. Um, and hopefully, those weird feelings you get come and go, and they're not always something, right? So, remember, we'll be here tomorrow, 8:30. It's 8:30 now. We'll be here tomorrow at 6:30. Come on through. We stream every day, about 6 days a week. We talk about the issues. We try and solve some problems. Get with us. Get with us. Get with us and help solve some problems. Thanks for coming through and like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.